Hello there, devotioners. How are you? So lovely to be with you on this beautiful day. God is certainly so good. He's lovely, altogether lovely. He's indescribable. There aren't enough words that are eloquent enough to describe the majesty of God and the power of God and just who God is. There is none like him in all the earth, and I'm just so grateful that he is God. Have you ever taken a moment just to say, God, I thank you for being God? Because if I were God, the world would be tilted, and we will be in trouble. The earth would not be sitting on its axis properly if I were God. But I'm so glad that he said, I got this, and he is God, and we thank God. And I'm sure many of you are saying, I'm so thankful that others are not God. Because if other people were God, you probably would be 6 feet under right now. But I'm so glad that he reigned supreme, and he said, I got this, I got this, I got this, and he is God. So I'm so thankful that he is God today, and beside him truly there is no other. I just have to give God so much honor, so much praise, so much adoration for who he is. But every now and then, outside of who he is, he shows us and grants us his blessings and his favor. And I'm so thankful for that you don't just serve God for his face, but sometimes he extends his hand, and we give God thanks for that. I give God thanks for that, for his many, many blessings and his favor toward me. I am just incredible indebted to the Lord for all that he has done. I can truly say that I've been blessed, and I've got so many testimonies. And when I look back over my life and I begin to see where God has brought me from and the limitations that were placed on me, and just to see how God just break those chains and cause me to expand, I got to give him thanks. And I just want to say, who wouldn't want to serve a God like that? Who wouldn't want to serve a God like this? But I want to encourage you today, and I want to say that you are a mighty man or a mighty woman of valor. You are a mighty man or you're a mighty woman of valor. You are a person of valor. And I want to encourage you and let you know that God sees you. Just reflecting on Gideon, and I want to just briefly encourage you on the life of Gideon. I think driving and doing devotion is probably becoming one of my favorite things to do. Oh my goodness, I am safe, and I wouldn't put myself in danger. But I think this is so great. I just like to flow like this. No script or anything, just to flow. But I was thinking about Gideon, and the Bible says that the angel of the Lord visited him. And when the angel of the Lord visited him, Gideon was in hiding at the time. He was threshing wheat. And when you begin to look at it, he was threshing wheat at a place where they don't truly thresh wheat. He was at a place of hiding. So he was doing what he was doing, but he was in a place of hiding. And the Bible lets us know that the Midianites, who was an enemy of Israel, threatened them and told them that they were coming to conquer, to devour their crops. They were coming at a time of harvest. That's the enemy, but we won't belabor that point. That the enemy likes to come in when there's fruitfulness, and he wants to devour, and he wants to eat up everything that God has placed on the inside of us. But let's keep this rolling. And so there was a threat on their provision. There was a threat on the people. And the angel of the Lord visited Gideon and told Gideon that you are a mighty man of valor. And Gideon, like many of us, was like, who are you talking about? Because there is nothing mighty about me. You know the saying, it's not, hold on, let me get it right. Let me get it right. Give me some grace. It's not the size of the man in the fight. Yeah. I got it right. But it's the size of the fight in the man. Okay, I got it. Right? So it's not the size of the man that's in the fight, but it's the size of the fight that's in the man. Gideon could not see that. Gideon was like, who are you talking about? Who are you calling a mighty man of valor? Do you even understand who my family is? I'm from the tribe of Manasseh. We are poor. We are the lowliest of the tribe. Exactly what did you get the wrong address? First of all. And that's how many of us are. We like to look at our deficits, and we begin to determine that our deficits, it's going to cause us our destruction. It's not going to take us anywhere. Our deficit should warrant us to be overlooked. And that's how we think sometimes. Our own self-perception keeps us from progress. And so that's how Gideon saw himself. He saw him, not only himself, but his family, like, there's nothing good that can come out of here. Kind of like Jesus in Nazareth. There's no good thing that can come out of Nazareth. Like, oh, this is just a little town, and we just do what we do, and we try to survive, and we get up in the morning, and we wash the clothes, hang it up on the line, and we cook on a coal stove, and we say our prayers, and we read our word, and then in the evening we may run around, cook dinner, and then we go to bed. There's nothing else to expect. And how do you talking about healing and delivering and working miracles like that? That's not a part of our norm in Nazareth. Like, what excuse me? Only carpenters live here. All you hear is trees falling, and all you will hear is a saw, or wood chopping. Like, that's all you. That's the miracles. What? Get out of here. And so they could not work with Jesus, because he was breaking the norm of the day. He wanted to heal the grandma who had a headache. He wanted to heal somebody who was blind in Nazareth. He wanted to heal the cripple, and they were like, no, we're not having that. No, that's not what we do around here. Those people just have those conditions, and they are dependent on somebody, and we care for them, and they live and they die, and we bury them. We're not expecting them to be healed. We're not expecting them to be delivered. We're just expecting them just to stay in the shape that they're in. And Jesus was like, they don't have to, because I am Jesus. And they're like, get out of here. Go somewhere else with all of that. Devotioners! So Gideon was like, not me, not us. No, thank you. No bueno. This go somewhere else. But the angel of the Lord told him that, Gideon, you are a mighty man of valor. And you're looking at your limitations now, but God sees a leader in you. God sees the fight that's in you, the size of the fight in you. You don't see it yet, but God sees it. And Gideon, by the way, God is going to use you to defeat the Midianites. God is going to use you to conquer them. God is going to use you to protect the harvest. Yes, you. Yes, you. I'm talking to you now, devotioners. Yes, you. I know you don't see it. I know you can't fathom it. I know where you come from. I know your lineage. I know what your mama used to do. I know what your papa used to do. And for some reason you carry that stigma with you and you feel like this is all that there is. I see the house that you grew up in. I see the neighborhood that you grew up in. I see the mouths of the people that are on you. I know that you're struggling. I know that you can't make ends meet right now, but you have this lofty dream. You have this picture painted in the theater of your mind of what you could be, but you just can't see how, and you just don't understand when will that ever happen. Like, this is just a fallacy, and might as well I just flush it out of my mind. It's there for a reason, because God sees the size of the fight in you. And so God is calling you. He's waking you up right now through this devotion to let you know that there is something greater inside of you, and you can realize your dreams. You can realize your deepest potential. You can produce something great in the earth. You just got to begin to recognize that it won't require you necessarily. You're going to be a part of it, but you're going to have to be dependent on God, that nobody can take the credit for when it's done. Yeah, God is going to use you as a vessel. I'm talking to you right now. You have so many things that you want to accomplish. And where you're sitting right now with the time, you're like, where am I going to find the time? You're looking at, you're like, I got children, 4 children. How am I going to do this? You know, you may have a spouse, you're like, but we don't even have the resources to do this, because I can't take from, you know, like, what am I going to do? And I can't leave this job. Like, God, let me just put this on hold. But I'm here to just say something to at least one person. Maybe this is for one person. We'll say in Jamaica, you know, I'm Jamaican. You know, I'll say to one dege person. Oh God, one single dege person. God is calling you. God is awakening you. Right? When God called David, David was a little shepherd boy, but God saw a king. Esther was a little orphan girl, but God saw a queen. All Moses saw was his stutter, but God saw a deliverer of over 1 million people. Can you imagine? Right? People saw Saul at the time as a murderer, but God saw him as a writer, as an orator, as somebody who would spread the gospel. You don't know what's inside of you. You don't know the size of the fight that's inside of you, and God is awakening you. And I'm here to tell you, I'm going to close with this, and we could pick this up. I'm going to pick this up. Definitely going to pick this up. I feel it in my bones. I'm going to pick this up. Here's a reality. Some of you are waiting for courage. Hear me. Yes, God. Some of you are waiting for courage in the absence of fear. Like, God, if I'm going to do this, I need to be so courageous, and I need to be so bold and Courage does not mean that you're going to be void of fear. Okay? Like, you're like that like you're not going to look at the reality. Like, I cannot afford this right now. Like, look at the pocketbook. Look at I already look in my checking account and my savings account, and the dream that it's inside of me. The finances can't fund this. That's your reality. So God is not telling you to rid yourself of the reality, and that you're not going to have a fear of stepping out. But like my friend Peter, which you hear me often talk about, and I will continue to talk about, because he is the epitome of my journey. Like what he did really fueled my journey, and I give thanks for Peter, right? It doesn't mean that you're not gonna test the water. I am pretty confident that if I interview Peter, and if I bring Peter on my show, remember I had the journey, my show. If I brought Peter on the journey right now, and I sat him down, and I introduce him and do all the stuff, and I get into our conversation, and I say to Peter, hey Peter, tell me something. When you heard bid me come on the water, what were you thinking? And he will answer. And then I said, Peter, so when you made up your mind to actually go to where you perceive Jesus was, did you just put your foot over the boat and just begin to walk? Or Peter, did you try to test the water to see if you were gonna stand, to see if it was gonna stay afloat before you put the next foot over? I can almost 100% guarantee you that's exactly what he would tell me. He would say, Danielle, good question. That's a great question. That's a great question. Yeah, let me tell you what happened. I heard bid me come on the water. And girl, I'm a fisherman. I have expertise in water. I fish for a living. And I know the joy of being in the ocean. And I also know the danger of being in the ocean. And it was I couldn't see clearly because of the time. And when I heard come, I knew it was him, because I'm familiar with that voice. But the storm was raging. It was windy, and I put my foot over, girl. And I tested to see if my foot was gonna stay afloat, because I know a thing or two about the laws of gravity, and I tested, and then when I realized, my foot didn't go down in the water, it stayed afloat, then I put the other foot over, and I tested, and then I sat at the edge of the boat, and then I said, all right, I think I could stand, and I stood up, and I walked on the water. I can 100% guarantee you that's what he's going to tell me. That's what he would tell me. So there's going to be some intimidation in us when we are going toward conquering grandiose things, right? Things that appears insurmountable. It comes with the territory. And I am leaning into that, because there's a time when I thought that if you're going to accomplish any great thing in this life, or anything for God, that it's going to come with you just being so courageous and, not having any worry or fear about outcomes or your reality. That's not so. That's not it. And so Gideon was called a mighty man of valor long before he was armored, long before he picked up a sword, long before he was asked to build his army. And we're going to talk about that some more. But I just want to let you know, my friend, that you are mighty. And God is calling you to recognize today. He's awakening your consciousness. He's awakening the dream that's inside of you. And he's letting you know the fight in you is bigger than you think.